Hello. Hi, how are you?
Waking up here.
Just waking up. We're like in our PJs this morning, just keeping it super casual because I'm like, honestly, we only have a few hours to get stuff done. By the time we take showers and get ready, then it's like we don't have time to actually sit down and film anything.
You're wearing your like super casual shirt.
Matisse always makes fun of this shirt. But it's very comfortable and it definitely taps into some of my, crunchy vibes. But anyways, so
What are we even talking about?
I know, this was actually very spontaneous. I wanted to sit down with you and chat because one of the number one questions that I get asked when it comes to my home birth with twins is, how did Matisse feel about it and what did he do to prepare? Tell me like a little bit about how you felt initially about home births before we started learning more about them.
I think it even goes back to Safia being born. I didn't love the hospital experience. Of course, I was grateful for it and everything went well, and Safia ended up being good and safe. From a instinctive point of view, it was like, yeah, some things I wouldn't necessarily want to happen again if I had control over it. I know you'd already talked about home birthing and you were like, yeah, like I think even after that you were like, I want to have a home birth. And I was like, yeah, like I was down to explore a different way if we were going to have more kids, and I could see the value of it.
For the record, like my channel is all about empowered birth and empowering women in their birth experiences. It doesn't matter wherever you choose to give birth. That's like totally your choice, and I 100% support hospital births and home births. We're just sharing like our story and our experience. That's it.
So yeah, I was into it, but then once we found out it was twins, then I was kind of like, it's a lot more to try and wrap your head around, like being there for someone and like based on all the risks that society presents you when you're like, I want to have a home birth with twins. Mm-hmm. They definitely make it scary. So I was like thinking about all those things, and I'm like, probably like we should just do it in the hospital and and then
with the like being considered high risk.
It's a high
risk pregnancy when you're pregnant with twins,
and just how the system reacts when you are in that situation. They don't give you many options, so I was kind of like, I guess this is what it is. And then I could see that you were just not feeling good about it, and I was just like, if you're not feeling good about it, how, like, even if you're gonna be in the hospital, how they say is like the safest way or whatever, the energy is just gonna be wrong anyways, so really it wouldn't have for you been the right circumstance. And so then we were, when you started presenting like all these different options and showing me the course, the free birth course, and hearing them talk about, statistics and different stuff and all of that, I definitely like bought in right away, and then I was on board.
Your perspective changed so
for sure
quickly.
Just based on some new information. If you don't even know the free birth course exists, or any free birth course, then how would you know? And you wouldn't know. And so then after that, I like completely bought in, and I was like, I don't see any other way. Once we found the right doula and all this, like everything was just kind of lining up. I was like, okay, and I'm not even the one doing the birth. Like I'm just there's supporting.
It was so good to have you on side, because I know that that's not always the case for all women and all pregnancies, in terms of like, I get a lot of questions. So how did you get Matisse to be on your side with wanting to have a home birth / free birth with twins? Like, how can you convince your partner? And I think that you getting informed and doing the research and work yourself was what really helped you believe in physiological birth, and to see like, okay, this is what needs to be done in order for it to unfold in this kind of way. And we had so many clear conversations about like how I wanted to feel in the birth and how I needed Matisse to like just be there for me and like witness me in the birth. I think was the most important thing for me. I didn't need him to come in with his fears. Like I really felt like you truly trusted me and my body's ability. And the crazy part is that obviously fear is a natural part of pregnancy. I mean, that's just fear is just a part of being alive and being a human being. But as the pregnancy went on, I'd have days where I was like, Matisse, like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like, am I okay? Just, moments where that fear would come up and I would express that to him. And Matisse was like, totally, completely like, no, you're good. You're fine. You got this. Like, he was my rock, even when I feel like I didn't always have it. And so to have that extra support is really necessary. I know that it's like, okay, you're like, the woman like has the choice on where she wants to give birth because she's the one that's giving birth and she should be able to do it wherever she wants. But also it's like really, really nice to have the partner's support in and belief in you. What advice would you give to other men and partners that might be in a situation where their wife or partner wants to give birth at home and they're on the fence about home births?
I would say just give it a chance and do the research and watch the Free Birth Society course or whatever free birth course and just get more educated about it. A lot of the time I feel like guys will just not even know the possibilities or know the information. Once I like learned more, then I was able to be way more open to it and see that I think we aligned with it way more. So yeah, give it a chance. Don't cross it off just because of preconceived fears and stuff around it.
And like birth isn't just one day. Like birth and postpartum and having a baby and parenting, that journey goes on forever. So the way in which a woman feels when she does give birth is so important for the family unit long term, rather than just that one experience in that one day. And that was something that was really important to me, was I just wanted you to be there and for Safia to be there to witness it. I had such an incredible postpartum, like after my birth with the twins compared to my first birth, like after having Safia. I was really mourning, and I still am mourning, like the loss of a birth that I really feel that I could have had. Because like after I gave birth to her in the hospital, I was like, oh my gosh, I just realized like, okay, yeah, I just gave birth. Like I totally could have just done that at home. But like it seemed like this really big, crazy, scary thing that I wouldn't have been able to do. And once she came out of me in the hospital, I was like, oh, yeah, no, I totally could have done that. Like it's hard to believe that like a baby just comes out of you and that actually happened. What was your place like while I was giving birth? What did you feel like was necessary to do?
Honestly, just trying to stay awake. I was so tired, and like I can't imagine what you were going through, but like with the doula and with me being there, like I was just trying to be there for you, just be there for you as a support, and just being by your side or whatever whatever it was. 'Cause we were up all night long, so
yeah.
Eventually I was like really tired, and you have this whole thing going on in your body, so you're on overload and whatever, I'm
on another planet.
Yeah, so, and I'm just witnessing it, but like my body's like, you should be sleeping right now. So I think I did have like a few power naps, and luckily, the doula was there, and that's why she's there. It was just to be there and witness it and get whatever you needed and set up the pool, be somewhat of a container as well as with the doula, containing the space, making sure Safia was good. And
I just needed you to be there. Like I really just needed you physically there and awake. Mm-hmm. and for me to hold your hand. That was like I just was like, I just want your hand so bad.
Even if I was just holding your hand and like laying my head down or whatever, it was like...
I think it was really helpful in preparing for the birth to go through all of the different stages of labor and for you to know that. I remember us also having a conversation beforehand where I was like, I can be very convincing, and if at any point in the labor I try to convince you that I want to go to the hospital, I was like, please just don't listen to me. Like, unless there's an actual reason why we have to go, I was like, the pain can't be reason enough to go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. Remember when I told you? I was like, I can almost guarantee that I could convince you that I would want to go. Just please don't do that. So much preparation. Like, so much preparation. It's not just like one day I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna have a home birth tomorrow. Like, this was like at least 6 months of preparation every single day. Yeah, mental, physical, spiritually, like a marathon, preparing for like the biggest hike end of my life, really. Overall, like, and what I'm realizing from this conversation as well is that having that first hospital birth, I think definitely put a spark within you and me to want to really like have a good home birth. Yeah, I'm just really grateful for how everything did unfold and how it all went down, and I'm really thankful that you were there and supporting me, and that you were able to see things in a different way. Not only like see things in a different way, but then you were like totally believed in it and supported it after. So I'm really thankful for that. Thank you so much, Jade.
No, and I think like all the guys out there, or couples or whatever, women, whoever is the partner to someone giving birth, it's like, if you're thinking about having kids, just start, even if you don't know if you're going to have a home birth or hospital birth, just start doing research and start the unlearning now, like as soon as possible, so that you can just have an open mind to whatever it is, because
it's like being curious about birth.
I feel like even if you're just like, we're having a hospital birth, whatever, you're just like, that's what we're doing, and I don't have to think about it anymore until we get to the hospital. And it's like, no, just give yourself a chance to be empowered and learn and unlearn and all this stuff. You can just benefit as a human from that, even if you're not gonna have kids. Like, just
knowing about birth,
knowing about a different perspective.
So yeah, I think that mostly wraps it up. We could probably do a part 2 on this as well, maybe in the future. Well, thank you so much for watching this week's video. If you have any questions, you can always email me at hello@caitlin-hill.com, and please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao for now.